old school kind of paint. It's just flat paint, but it's a nice color, right? It looks like orange and it looks like red. So that's what we're going to use today on our helmets. So let's do this together, you guys, because we talked a lot this morning about other stuff other than doing resin. And I think it's important that we do talk about resin. And I'm talking about the kind that you make artwork with. Nothing beyond that. Because I think that we have been using resin for probably, I don't know, they started making decorations and stuff in maybe the 50s, okay? I don't know. Maybe one of you guys could tell me when they started using resin to make literally everything. See, now the problem with resin is that it's flammable. It's flammable. So if you have furniture that has like, there's other kinds of resins, not the kind that I'm talking about where you mix the two together and it's epoxy, and that's what I'm pouring right now. No, none of the above. Okay, so we're just gonna go out here and I just said, listen, I got water-based paint to do this resin. I painted it the color I wanted it. Then I added some, so take a look there. Hold on, I should turn this around, hold on. Take a look. Okay, so if you could see how brilliantly beautiful that these helmets are, because what I did was I mixed gold and silver and I went over a candy. So now I have the resin over top of a flat red paint that costs $1 for the whole bottle. And then I got the little bitty, the glitter, a bag of glitter. So each one of these basically took half a bag of glitter. This one I did a whole bag of glitter, and I had to black it out a little bit up here front because it was just way too much. So as you can see, man, hopefully this dries out real nice because I'm in the sun here. And we are in Mexico. The temperature is great. So no complaints out of there. I do have so much resin that's going on right now that this whole thing needs to just sit here and be left alone. I may come back in a little bit and just test for hardness or whatever, or stickiness, because I still got to do this one and put one of these on this. But I got to do these bridges. You see these bridges on the side? Okay, you see this one here? So these are kind of like little sculptures that I'm going to do on these helmets. So they all have a nice, cool, like eagle on the top or something that normal helmets have. But anyway, the kids made these. I didn't make these. The kids made these. Maybe they had help from their parents. Maybe they didn't. All they had to do is trace out the pattern and cut it. And it was from my helmet. So this one came out really like a lowrider. I don't know what hell happened there. I might even go back over this again, sand it down real good, and then fill in all those wrinkles there, because that's not cool. You see how nice and flat these are? These came out real sharp. Look at that. These things, you know what I modeled these after? The reason why I do this kind of art is because somebody I knew used to go bowling a lot. And they had their own bowling ball, and it was all glittery. And it was amazing. So I was like, wow, what's that? And he says, that's resin. And they used to do these in the 1970s with balls for bowling. So he got into bowling, and sure enough, he was able to buy like a vintage old bowling ball that was made with resin. And I was like, wow, I'm fascinated by this now. I'm going to try it. All I did, listen guys, I'm not an expert. But what I did do was I asked the kids to all make their own helmet first. So this way they have some skin in the game. And it also teaches them a little bit of discipline on finishing a project from start to finish. Because most kids now will not finish a job they start because of a few factors. And so there's a psychological reason why I have kids do projects that are little like this, that are complicated. Because their little fingers, they can cut paper. But this is carton, okay? This is nothing more than paper mache that they did with their own hands with paper and some flour glue and some water. in a spray bottle, and they pieced it together piece by piece, and then they covered it up, and then they painted it themselves with a flat base primer of black. Okay, so that gave a really nice, texture to lay on top of here with this gold glitter, so you can see there. And then this one down here, I did a candy paint first. And if you guys are really big fans of candy paint, I'm doing lots of candy paint videos now. And I'm going to do time lapses because you can't really watch too much paint dry. And I appreciate guys who do those videos, and I would rather not be their competitor because I'm just not that good at, painting cars or whatever. But what I am good at doing is logistics. And that's just teaching kids how to put stuff together. And you know what? You don't need to get paid to do something that makes you fulfilled. So if you think that, then you know what I mean? I know a lot of people worship money, but this right here is a success story for me. Okay? I mean, think about it. I'm a foreigner here. Who the hell, you know what I mean? And I'll have all my classes to the level of that of maybe the United States Air Force level would be, because a lot of us were overtrained to do a lot of this stuff and we learn by default. So now we're in retirement or we're banged up or whatever. And this is what we do to stay sane. That is make fun projects and have activities, because it's better than doing nothing. Boys need activities, very hard physical activities, and they need to develop masculine characteristics, which is why here at the Fire Academy, these kids do everything adults can do with tools, with uniforms, with hoses and all that, pumps and everything, and learning how to change the oil or change the tire on a car. All the stuff that you and I probably learned from our dad, if you were born in anywhere in the 70s, 80s, then you probably learned how to change the oil on a car. Now you got a PhD, you could probably work at McDonald's if you need to. So now all I'm doing is just reflecting back on childhood memories of seeing how cool it was when I was a kid to put on a fireman's helmet. So now these kids have made their own fireman's helmet, and we very happily put this together with a couple of people from some local businesses that were nice enough to get us all the stickers. And we're still not done. We still got to do the chin straps. That's all legit. Okay, all of this is legit. Every bit of this is legit. We want all of the helmets to look and feel and be heavy enough to be able to practice in, and not have to give a kid a contaminated helmet that costs $8,000 fucking dollars. So anyway, if you guys enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button, because I want to keep doing these videos like this and then giving you guys a little bit of philosophy on the side, giving you a little bit of psychology, because that would be more fun than, just staring into space watching me paint helmets. So anyway, I'm now just looking right now for any errors or any drips or something that might be, something that I can't fix right this minute, because otherwise I'm going to leave this completely alone. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to let it dry, because one little touch of my finger will leave a stupid ass fingerprint, and that will ruin all this beautiful work that we did. And all the kids are going to be here in 2 hours. So I want this to be, in the sun, solid 2 hours. Even if it's sticking to the paper, I don't care. Because I'll take that paper off, shine it up, and I'm gold. Or I'll elevate them. I don't care. But I just wanted to show you guys this, because this is where I heal my hurts, man. If you have a hobby that you do and you love, you have lots and lots and lots of options with art. Because this is all recycled paper. Every bit of this is nothing more than cardboard carton that we made these. The kids made these themselves. We did have some help, because obviously, you get lots of information from YouTube and things like that. But for the most part, I think these things turned out beautifully. So if you guys want to watch, I'm going to put the last coat of a little bit more epoxy on these. But I am drinking a cup of coffee. So in 2 seconds, I'm going to reverse the camera and I'm going to get to work. So if you guys want to watch me pour, do me a favor and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button too. Oh man, that would be so cool. I would have new subscribers watching me do all this art. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll do more projects and it'll be fun. We could actually do these together live. So watch me go. I'm going to get the hell out of the way. Oh, this is so good. Listen to this. That's the epoxy I just made. It's already hardened. That means that these helmets, that mixture that I made worked out awesome. But I'm going to heat this up because I want to see if I can get a little bit more epoxy out of this job. Because, man, I just love pouring epoxy with glitter in it and getting it looking cool. Because isn't that what this is all about? Just having fun doing what we're doing. Now I realize this is in a plastic bowl. What you don't know is this is a tempered plastic bowl. Tempered plastic bowls are for hot soups, coffee, things like that are in Mexico. And those things are extremely hot. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little heat gun here. And I'm going to go around and touch on this just a little bit. Let it soften itself up. Let it soften itself up so that way I can just pour it out of this container. If it's not totally set. Because that would be good because that's an indication that I did great over here. But it's bad because I wanted to hit that helmet, that red helmet one more time with some of this, but I don't know. I think it might have hardened up to beyond the point of no return. I don't know. Yeah, man, that looks really like that. Whoa, that's fucking great, man. That's amazing. Holy shit. Now I have a round thing of glitter with nothing in the center of it, but that's cool. Now I'm burning my container, so it's all my fault. Every bit of it. Now I'm just going to hit these a little bit to take the bubbles out. That's how that'll work. Then you pick this up, get it off the paper. Because right under there, that'll stick. You don't want that to stick to your project. I know this one. Whoa, look at that. This thing is like literally, uh-oh. I'm going to have to work on this one, guys. Hold on. That one's feeling stuck. I don't like that because I have artwork on the other side of that helmet. We don't want to mess up the artwork or have to go over it again. So, by the way, this stuff is really sticky. So do not do as I do, and that is don't wear gloves when you're handling sticky shit. So anyway, let me just try and pull this back without totally wrecking the artwork. Just move it a little bit so it's not stuck to more resin that's on the paper. Okay? All I'm doing. Just picking it up, moving it off the resin that might have spilled over. Okay? Anyway, you want to separate all your projects, put them somewhere where they're not going to be contaminated with dust. Here's what I do. I just get a container, I put it somewhere level, and then I lay it on top. Like that. So now anything that rolls off of there is not going to stick. Sticks to anything, it's going to stick to the paper that's down below, and it's not going to stick to the project. Alright, where was I? I got to be real careful because the bottom is a black resin. It's already done. My hands are not sticky. If I touch it, I'll contaminate it. Fuck that. So we're going to let this sit in the sun. We're going to move the table a tiny bit, very carefully. And I'm going to do it right. Sit it in the sun, let it do. Okay, let it do. So I'm not going to fuck with nothing. Any more resin from this point is stupid. I already solidified my last piece. We're going to let this sit in the sun, let it cure, come back in 6 hours. Hopefully, okay, it's 2:15 right now. By 4 o'clock, this right here will be solid as a rock. I didn't intend it to be that way. I kind of hoped it would be a little more sticky and would hang out for a minute. So that way, if there's any errors, I can use my gun, heat it up. But this really needed to be done because look, this one here is still tacky from the other day. That's a big problem because now I need to mix 2 more parts to do this again so that it's hard as a rock. So if your stuff is sticky, all you got to do is make another little batch of resin, heat it up with your heat gun. I'm telling you, it's like cement and it heats up and you'll feel the resin change temperature real fast. That's your time to start putting it on your project. Because look, these are made out of cardboard. You guys, these things look like real helmets. When they're hardened up, they are hard as a hard hat. And this is just the first pass, you guys. So if you really like doing something like this, I'm going to start doing these all the time because resin is fun and I only do firefighter stuff. So if you like firefighter stuff and you like paramedic stuff and you enjoy the fact that we're teaching kids how to do paramedic stuff and firefighter stuff between the ages of 6 and 12 years old, this is the channel you want to watch because it's more than just doing firefighting because kids need to learn how to defend themselves from bullies in school. And I think that firefighting in a junior academy is one of the best options for parents because it's very inexpensive. 2, firefighters work for free. And since I'm here, I work for free for these kids. Only thing is that donations are the only thing that pay for all of this resin. Okay, and I'm going to tell you guys that one thing like this is about 30 bucks. That's a little bit, pricey, but is it worth it? Yeah, look at the work we're doing here with these kids. It's fantastic. So if you don't mind, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys watching this because this is not my first time doing resin, but it is my first year doing videos of all my projects because I do tables and things like that. And I always have other disabled veterans help me put tables together and do these. So I really hope you enjoy this. So we're going to let these really do their job and cook. Because if you look, you see there's fumes coming off. Right now, you see there's fumes coming off. Like when it gets cold, and sometimes you'll see perspiration coming out of your body. That's kind of what's happening here. There's a chemical reaction going on that changes this from being a liquid to a solid. And what's happening is when I heat up the resin, it excites all of the electrons that are in the paint. So everything is excited right now and they're going crazy. And so what's going to happen is they bond together. And 2 different parts, the hardener and so on, becomes one as resin. And that's why it turns clear the way it does. When you've mixed it nice and slow and taking your time, really pushing it, you guys. Okay, today I kind of screwed up, but it taught me a lesson because not every bit of instructions for different temperatures will apply. Because I'm in Mexico, but guess what, guys? It gets cold as a motherfucker here. Guess what you can't do in cold weather? Can't work with resin unless you have a heater or a space heater, or you're constantly working with your pistol, which is hard to do working with paper mache. You'll set the whole place on fire. So don't do that. However, you want to let this stuff chill because this is just the first pass. You're going to go over this again because that was the glittery shit. Okay? Fuck all that. No more glitter. You're only going to do just a regular clear on clear, and then you're going to pour that onto this after it's already been scuffed up. You're going to take your little sponge block and you're just going to scuff it up just a little bit, hit it with the heat gun again. The reason why is because there's glitter that's underneath some of those bits of paint. And when you just scuff it up a little bit, you see all that sparkle come through the resin. It's amazing. I didn't know any of this stuff. Somebody taught me how to do candy. And then I tried it. And then after fucking up 5-6 times, I finally got it right. And it was so impressive that I took it out in the sun and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. But it's not very durable. So I said, why don't we try this? We'll experiment 2 different things. We'll do candy paint and we'll do about 4 coats of lacquer, clear job on top of it. And then we'll do resin. We'll use the cheapest the cheapest paint that we get from the paper supply store that sells just a very simple little, I got one here, I believe. It's just the kids paint. So the kids paint their own helmets. So I'm not doing everything. This is the hard part. What I'm doing here is setting an example. This right here is the first coat. This has to be perfect. Anything after this screws up, that's okay, because I can just hit the heat gun. It's not going to mess anything up. So the kids can come in and just try and just successively do stuff, and I can fix it. It's that easy. So we're going to let this dry. And I do appreciate every single time you come by and you watch my videos. That really helps me a lot. Now the kids are getting their pants fitted. And I told you guys before that when I design clothes, they have to be different from everybody else. I also told you that I tend to have some very, very strangely, divinely inspired designs. So I designed the pants for the firefighters, for the brigade, the junior fire brigade, to be a multiple working type of pants. And I want to talk to you about this because some of you guys are military and some of you guys know what it means to talk about tactical pants. Now, some people use tactical pants to be tactical. Being tactical is okay. If you enjoyed being in the military and you enjoyed the style of the military, when you got out, you know that you're going to wear some cargo fucking pants or some shit and probably wear a tight t-shirt if you're in shape. That's how we behave. But listen, I think that I got to put the lids on these bad boys. Okay. And then when I come back, it's a mess, so you guys know. All of this is messy. Very, very, very messy. Messy work, messy art, but I have a way out of it. I use oil. Just a little bit of oil. Any kind of oil will do. Castor oil, olive oil. Then if you want to use a little bit of abrasive, you get some baking soda, and then you just rub your hands. That'll kind of dry a little bit, but at least it won't be sticky. So what do you think, kids? We got to let this dry, but for the most part, I wanted to make sure that we did that experiment right, because this is the real deal here. Okay? And in 2 more weeks, the other lady that's doing we have a lady that does piñatas. And we all went on like a neighborhood diet to see who could lose the most weight. Okay? I've been dieting for bodybuilding shows all these years, and I'm able to fluctuate in weight so fast from just doing cardio every single day and then doing intermittent fasting. I smoke anybody who wants to pry me. And as far as dieting goes, because I don't mind suffering. I don't mind suffering at all. I was in bodybuilding and I do not mind suffering with a diet. So that's another thing, is that you don't really have to suffer as far as taste goes, but you do have to suffer as far as like getting rid of the idea that you should be eating 7,000 times a day. Because intermittent fasting only requires you to eat once a day. And that has been the most effective thing that has worked for me and many other people that absolutely swear by it. So, and take a lot of people seriously. When it comes to diet and exercise, I've been doing this for quite a long time. So, I've been able to be around rock stars when it comes to fitness. And some of those rock stars have taught me things that worked really, really fucking well to help people get in shape quick. So I've been using every single bit of advice that I have been doing since I've been doing bodybuilding. And some of the best advice I ever received was about intermittent fasting. And I'm really not a fucking guy who just believes any old stupid trend. So, being a stupid motherfucker, I try every single trend because I like the challenge. And this time I was actually forced into a position of intermittent fasting because I could only eat once a day. I didn't have time. No. It's because of the woods. I'm going to tell you guys, living in the woods is not what it's all cracked up to be. You know that skit with Chris Farley saying a man living in a van? Regardless if you're a good guy or not, to your kids, doesn't matter because you're being punished because you and her broke up. You're being punished financially because you had a kid with her and you and her broke up. So that is the rationale behind that. So don't take it personally. Everybody goes through it. So I'm heating up the paper that's stuck to it, hoping I don't melt my material. Oh boy, that's the heat kicking in right there. So I'm going to peel this off somehow with something. Got to heat it up real good though, because that shit is stuck like chalk, you guys. Look at that. Shiny, shiny. Oh, look at that. Come right off. Now I got to get that paper off the floor because it'll stick to the floor. And that ain't easy to come off. Not at all. Look at that. Stuck to the floor and almost solidified. Wow. But I'm not going to sit here and play fucking with myself as far as this goes, because you need a piece of cardboard that doesn't have any resin on it. So lay your piece down so you can revise it and it doesn't get any fingerprints on it. Because if you do, you got to keep heating up the gun again and going over it. But I'm a stickler for details. I don't have to do shit twice. So now that I know this is semi-transparently dry, I'm going to heat this up again. I'm going to fix any errors that I might have made, any gooey shit. Hanging down, all done, all fixed. Round off your corners, good to go. Find your dry spots. Let the resin do its job. Gravity do its job. And he runs. Run right over it. Oh shit! Now we're cooking. Any big spots? Now you're in trouble. Ooh, I can feel the structure changing. I gotta stop heating it up. And he runs. It's too late. Heating it up. Let's go. And then I'm gonna pop it on top of something. Keep it level. Okay. Oh, found the perfect spot. Oh fuck, I heated my resin up again. That's okay, I got a metal grill back here. Oh, it is a piece of fence with some chicken wire. And if I could just get it to sit on top and dry, without all my damn fingerprints all over it, then we'll be good to go. So let me show you. Here's where we are. That's where we're at. Here's the other three. These aren't done. This is just the first coat. I see I got lots of paper stuck to the bottom here. No big deal. I might have some paper stuck to the bottom of there. Again, like I said, no big deal. It's better that you don't. So I'm going to take this piece of cardboard, stick it underneath, and then we're good to go. So that's anything I'm going to do. That's the rest of it. So anyway, I'm the professor. I hope you enjoyed this. Hitting the like button on the way out, man. Bye-bye.